Sorry, good evening, guys. Are we using last week's um link to join this chat? Because I wasn't quite sure. I just
Yeah, sorry to cut you short, Kimberly. Good evening. Yeah, this is the right link. I'm just trying to come up with something at the moment. So, yeah, so just give me some minutes. I'm trying to reach out to your tutor. Please, pardon, what's the word now? Do please just be patient. So
okay,
this
no
is the right
problem.
link. Yeah, please. This is the
It's
right
okay.
link.
Thank you.
Um. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Hi guys, good evening. Good evening everyone. Can you hear me? Good evening. If you are here, can you please respond? Good evening, Kimberly, Kolade, good evening, Amado, good evening, Richard, good evening, Hassan, good evening.
Yeah, good evening. I can hear you.
Okay, awesome. All right, just give me a few minutes. I'll be back. Just give me a few minutes.
Right to the shop. To the shop. Wo way. Today. Wo wá kọ́ mú wá sókè ó wà lójú àmì shop. Ẹyẹ kan náà ni. Wo mọ́ kí ní kọ̀ wó báyìí. Tán. Kọ́fà rẹ̀ àtẹ̀yí kankan ni wọ́n fi ní kọ̀ wò yìí. irú rẹ̀ wo ẹ̀yìn rẹ̀ náà ẹni pé bí wọ́n ṣe ni. Mi ò mọ ibi tó wà ìrora mọ́ ibi tó ń gbé sí.
All right, so good evening, everyone. This is Joseph. Uh, just so we can have something to do.
This is the architecture one.
So we can have something to do and tonight. Flores, please, your mic is on. Can you please mute your mic? All right, thank you. Like to have a quick feedback from us as regarding this week that we just concluded. Hassan, please, can you mute your mic as well? Hassan, if you can hear me. Thank you, thank you. So I would love to have a few quick feedback from us as regarding this previous week that we just concluded before I will go ahead with the coming week and enlighten us on what to expect in the forthcoming week. So thank you. Please let someone quickly give us a feedback as regarding the assignments. Do you have any challenge? Do you have any difficulty, or do you have something to share as regarding this week assignments and all regarding the courses on data camp? Thank you. Let's make that snappy so that we can move forward. Yeah, I'm still waiting for us to give feedbacks. Let's make that snappy. Let's make it snappy so that we can do other things that we have to do tonight. All right, guys. I actually asked a question, but I think there's no one that is giving me a response right now. So I will just see what we can do. Currently, I'm on my way. I'm on transit currently, but I just have to keep us engaged until Mr. John comes on to take the class over from me. Regarding this week assignments, I believe that we all received the assignments on our dashboard on data camp, and that's what I actually want to have feedback on. I trust that you guys can hear me. Okay, yeah, Flourish, thank you. So I trust that you'll be able to work, especially on that project. On the project, that's Nobel Prize analysis on Nobel Prize winners. I don't know. I would love to have feedback on that. If we can actually give me a response, has anyone be able to solve that problem completely, or do you encounter any difficulty in the process of you trying to solve that project? If you have, if you want to share whatever you experience, the experience you gain from it. I believe the first question was you should analyze the highest number of gender, either male or female or something like that. And you can do well to just share your experience on that project, what you did, or the difficulty you encountered before you're able to solve it, so that we can throw more light for you on how to approach it better. So I don't know if anybody will be willing to do that, so that we can keep the platform engaged right now. So thank you. This is what I would like us to do right now. If you can, please let someone pick it up from here.
Hi, Mr. Joseph. On my side, I want to say I'm a little behind. I haven't gotten to the part of doing the project. I'm just going to start with this week's work today. Hopefully, I'm going to finish it tomorrow. So I have nothing much to say. Maybe someone else has something to say.
Okay, Kimberly, thank you for that feedback. I got you. Okay, you must have been busy through the week, I believe. Okay. So, Floris, I don't know if you're on this call. If you are still on the call, Floris, can you hear me? So I
Yeah,
only
yeah,
have
yes,
feedback.
I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay, 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 awesome. How about you? Are you able to do that project work?
Yes, I already solved it. So the
Okay,
project
well,
was really good and a little bit challenging for me. Uh, but I did it. So I think if we get more like that, it can help us improving our thinking skills and analysis. Yeah, thank you.
okay, Flores, I got you. So I got that you said that you had a challenge in it, but you're able to solve it in the end. That's good. That's one of the things that will keep building you up as a data scientist. The more difficulty, the more challenges you faced, and you're able to solve it in the end, you will have more experience to reckon with. That I was able to solve this problem, and and so one thing I would just encourage you to do is keep track of how you are solving the challenges that you are encountering on your journey in the course of this program. Keep record of them. Okay, I encountered this problem. This is how I approach it. This is how I solve it, so that you can fall back and recall back all of those solutions in the future. Okay, so that's good. Okay. Do we have somebody else that also solved that the project work for this week?
So I haven't had a chance, but still, probably by then, I talk about discuss for challenges.
All right, good evening, everyone. Very sorry, I was actually in another meeting and I just have to quickly round off to join us this evening. So ah, I I'm very sorry. It's been very difficult this weekend. I know that we owe you guys starting early, a lot of engagement, and we are very strained. But we'll try our very possible best to see how we can, you know, show up early and show fast because I mean we owe that to you. So I heard us speaking, right? We're talking about complaints and Kimberly still on this call. Kimberly, yeah, you talked about your challenge. So what was the last course you treated, Kimberly? Can you remember what course? What was the last course you took on data camp?
Okay, I just finished Introduction to Statistics in Python, so I'm just starting this week's work, which is Introduction to Functions in Python and visualizing the history of the Nobel winning prize. That's the project. Yeah.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I mean, you're making progress. I was expecting to hear maybe you are still treating the first, what's it called, first topic or second topic. I mean, it's not bad. If you just finished introduction to statistics, it means there are certain basic things you must have come across, or certain basic things you should know. Okay, so let's just do some brain tease and let's do some practice before we proceed. Yeah, let's do some practice. Let's do some practice. Just hold on. Okay, let's practice this. Because practice is just to okay. So I expect us to give appropriate response. Okay. All right. Update the existing value so that Sealand's population becomes 28. That is to say, we are replacing 27 with 28. So what do we use? Should we use this? Should we use this? Should we use append? Should we use this? What is the appropriate method to use to change the value of this key, Sealand? Of course, you should know in dictionary, this is a key. Sealand is the key. 27 is the value. Dictionary is a key value pair. All right. So what do I do? What method do I use to actually change this? Anybody? Yeah, I'm not afraid of failing either. Even though I'm your tutor, I'm not afraid of failing. Okay, so why we fail is sometimes it helps because we get to know. I usually use this principle for life too, and it's about failure. And the principle about failure, and this principle about failure is that when you fail, you've learned two things. The first thing you've learned is how to do a thing, and the second thing you've learned is how not to do a thing. All right. You know, it's always good to know how to do a thing, but I think it's extra good. It's better to know how not to do a thing. All right. So think of anything you know how to do. Right. You might know how to do it excellently well, but knowing how not to do it kinds of it shows more of a better understanding of the underlying principle behind what you're doing. Because you could learn to do a thing by copying and you could learn to do it excellently. There's so many persons, all right, they've learned a skill and they learned it by copying, just copycatting, all right, observation, and they got to know about that. They just had to, and maybe they practice, but then they did not learn on how not to do that thing. So because of that, there are certain things they might not be able to explain because they have not failed, because they did not really learn how to know how not to do that thing. So I'm not afraid of failing. you should not be afraid of failing, making attempts to anything. All right, because
The last option.
yeah.
The last option.
Okay, the last option. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right. Assign the new value to the key. Okay. Fill in the missing line so the loop variable changes and the loop eventually stops. Yes, that's true. Functions. I think that was what I assigned. You see, there are certain things that I really want to drill us on, and it's on functions, right, and statistics. No, that would be data manipulation, functions, and statistics. Yeah, because when you get to write your certification exams, you would notice that for those of you, okay, that are interested in writing certification exams, you would notice that the objective, the timed exam is heavily referenced from topics on statistics. All right. Basically, statistics, hypothesis testing, that'll come later. All right. And the practical exams is also heavy on data manipulation, exploratory data analysis. All right. We really need to learn how to index, how to use pandas to index, how to use NumPy to index, to manipulate our data, to do some aggregations and all of that. I think there is a cheat code. Let me check. I think I downloaded some time ago a document that contains some, not cheat code now, but some, not like a summary. More like a summary. I hope I still have that. Okay, data manipulation. Okay, I don't cheat. Okay, data wrangling cheat sheet. Let me see if this is it. Okay, is this it? Okay. Sorry, please hold on. I'm trying to see if I have this document so I can share it on the Discord channel. Okay, this looks like it. Yep. This looks like it. This looks like it. Okay. I'll share it to us later on. Okay, so yeah. Where are we? Okay.
That's
So
the
X
first
is
one. Sorry to disturb.
X.
It's the first one, I think.
Okay. X is equal to 1. Is that what you're saying, Kimberly?
X is equal to X plus 1.
X is equal to X plus 1. Okay. So it says X is equal to 1, while X is less than 4. Print X. So it says the goal is to print 1, then 2, then 3, then stop. So you said X is equal to X plus 1. Okay, so I think the best thing to do now is to try it out. So let's try it out. Let's write the code. I would have loved to use Data Lab, but let me just use Google Colab. Okay, hold on, please. Sorry. Okay, so let's check. All right, so X is equal to 1. And so we use the while loop. So while X is less than 4, print what? Print X. All right, so now They said our output okay, we are not giving the output. We said the goal is for us to print 1, then print 2, then print 3, and then stop. So what should be here? Is it x equal to x plus 1? So let's check. So if we write x is equal to x plus 1, this is another way of writing it, by the way. Let's check our output. 1, 2, 3. Okay. What's the second? X less than 4. Okay. X less than 4. X less than 4. It gives us 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So definitely it ain't x less than 4. X equal to 1. So let's try x equal to 1. X equal to 1. Oh, x equal to 1. I need to stop this. I just made a blunder now. This is a loop, and I didn't tell it to break, so that's why it's still running. I need to stop this. This is the only way I can. Thank you. X equal to 1. Did you get what happened? Because it's a while loop. While loop usually have enclosures, and my enclosure was an infinite one. So of course it will keep on printing. There's no break, there's no continue, so it will keep on printing. So let's try x equal to 1. Let's try x equal to 1. I hope it will give me a long loop. Okay, it's gonna give me a long loop. Okay. Okay. So let's try. I know I'm taking my time to do this. Let's try print x. Okay, there's no duplicating it. So if we try print x, let's see what it gives us. The same thing. So it means that correct value is x equal to x plus 1, which we could write this way. Okay, so we're going to have 1, 2, 3. That's the goal. They said the goal is to print 1, then 2, then 3, then stop. All right. So sometimes you need to understand what is going on behind the scene. 1 has been attached to x. So you are instructing the computer to do something, right? So as long as your x is less than 4, continually print x. I didn't add break because in a while loop, you must have done loops. It's different from a for loop. In a while loop, okay, we usually have what we call break, and we usually have what we call continue. Okay. So what break is actually used to put a stop to your loop when a certain condition has been met. If a certain condition hasn't been met yet, the loop continues. The loop is more like you can have an infinite loop, just as we saw, where the output was just printing out 1, 1, 1, 1. If I don't stop it, I don't know when it will stop. So I just had to, stop the execution of the cell. Okay. So now the idea is now x is equal to 1. So it will print x, and x will come out as 1. If I use x equal to x plus 1, okay, if I use x equal to x plus 1, the idea is this time around, x is no longer 1. X has taken the value of 2 because x Okay, let me use in a way people understand. X is equal to x plus 1. So initially, my first value was 1. Now my new x will be x plus 1. What was my former x? 1. So 1 plus 1 will be equal to 2. So now my new x, it means that my new x now, as I said here, someone is raising his hand. Did someone raise his hand? Did someone raise his or her hand to speak? I know this is basic, but learning the basics, same here. I can't see your screen, sir. I can't see your screen, sir. At the moment, I'm sharing my notebook on Google Colab. You can still see it, Colade. At the moment, I'm not sharing my data camp tab. At the moment, I'm sharing my Google Colab tab. You can still see it. I'm switching between both tabs.
Yes, I can see it.
I guess it's your network. Maybe you might have to log out and. Oh, is this peculiar to everyone else? Azam, you're seeing the same thing too? Can't see my screen.
Yes, sir.
Who can see my screen here? Who can? Kimberly can. Who else? Floris can. So I think you might just have to just quickly. I'll wait for you. Just quickly log out and log in. Very quickly. Log out and log in. It should display my screen. It should. Sometimes we get to have this glitch issue because of network. I can understand. So Hassan, Kolade, you could just leave the meeting and join in again. Yeah. So I see.
I can see it now.
You can see it now, right? All right, good. Okay, so I can proceed. All right. So while I'm taking my pain to do this, is I've learned, even though I'm still learning how to, write codes and program. Okay. One thing that I have learned is, even though we have a lot of vibe coding these days because of artificial intelligence, you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you don't learn the basics and learn what is actually going on behind the scene. All right. So it's sometimes I use my notebook, like I'm in a physical notebook and a pen, and I'm writing the steps, especially when I was trying to understand how functions work, right, and how a for loop works, especially. I had to take my time to know, because if you don't do that when you are vibe coding, which is not bad, essentially. How many of us know what vibe coding is? Anybody? You've heard of the word vibe code. Vibe coding is just you coding alongside the aid of AI, right? I know some of my friends who are front-end web developers. Some of the other ones are back-end. The vibe cool, but the only thing is they understand the basic. They understand for a long time. Okay, for a long time they've practiced even before the proliferation of artificial intelligence, like the cloud and the Geminis and the rest of them. Okay, but you'll be doing yourself a disservice if you don't want to learn the basics. Okay, that's why we are doing this practice. I think Joseph said it one time. On one way, if you practice for a week, you're good to go. You might not be able to meet up with courses. You are really good to go because you watch the videos and everything is making sense. All right, you watch the videos and everything is making sense. Okay, so yeah, so I'm trying to explain this while loop. So you said that this is more like in function. We'll say it is an what's it called now? In it, instantiate, right? Like this is the initial. Okay, who's raising his hand? Yeah, Kimberly, over to you.
Okay. I just want to see if I am understanding correctly what we are doing here, because I was just guessing with the answer. I thought it looked correct,
Okay.
but after you explained, I think I understand. So we have x initiated to 1.
Yes.
Then we have a while loop where it says while x is less than 4, print
Yes.
x. X is basically equal to 1. So it's going to print out 1. Then it's going to compare, it's going to increase now. X is going to be 2. It's going to check if x is less than 4. Well, x is still
Yeah.
less than 4. It's going to print
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
Then, yeah, it increases again. Is that correct?
Yeah, you're correct. You're actually on track. That's
Okay.
the logic behind it. That's the
Okay.
logic behind it. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's the
thank
logic
you.
behind it. So
Okay.
I would have 4 as part of my output if I change this to this. Sorry, hold on. If I change this to this. So while x is less than or equal to 4, print x. X equal to x plus 1. I think 4 will be inclusive. Yeah. Okay. So that's the condition. While this, I could change this to a for loop. I could say for okay, for I in the range of x, print, of course, never forget a for loop always ends the colon, print x. Okay, no. For y, for I in range of x, print, sorry. X equal to 1.
I think the range will be 4 or 0 to 4, something like that.
Oh yeah, sorry,
Not
sorry.
x.
X, not x, sorry, because x has been assigned to 1. So let's say instead of writing 0 to 4, just write x in the range of 5. Let me bring back this again. There's no need to write this. There's not even any need to write this. Hold on, okay. And then change this to 4. Okay, so I don't need to write, I just need to change this to I. Let's see. Okay, started from 0. So let's say between 1 and 4. Yes, correct. Okay. Yeah, so this is the equivalent of the while loop. Okay. For I in range of 1 to 4, print I. And please, for loop, using a for loop is actually better. All right, because so if I want to, there's what is called the list comprehension. Let me use the opportunity and be explaining anything that comes to my head. So x for, okay, no, x for I, no, would be I for I. Let's see if I'm okay. So this is a list comprehension. List comprehension means you want to create a loop, but you want the output to be in a list. All right, you want to create a list from a loop. So we are saying that print I, as far as I is in the range of 1 to 4. So in this range is a method, okay. And if you're having two numbers, the one, okay, the one is inclusive and the 4 is exclusive. It is the same thing with indexing. You know, when you are indexing, when you are slicing sometimes or indexing, if you're having two numbers, the last number is usually the end and is exclusive, meaning that this 4 is not part of my output. If I write 3, it means that my output will stop at 2. If I write 5, it means my output stop at 4. So this is a list comprehension. It is enclosed in a list. Of course, you should know that list carries square brackets, whereas tuple take circle brackets this way, circle brackets this way. Okay. Yeah, what this is. But what I'm interested is list comprehension. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So it means our answer here is xs plus 1. Okay. I hope that's correct. Incremental. Okay. Consider a scatter plot of GDP per capita, x-axis, loss scale, versus life expectancy, y-axis for countries in 2007. Most points trend from lower left to upper right.
Sorry, sir, can you switch to data cam?
I'm sorry about that. Yeah, you can see it here. All right.
Yes.
So consider a scatter plot of GDP per capita, x-axis, log scale versus life expectancy, y-axis for countries in 2007. Most points trend from lower left to upper right. Fill in the statement that best describes the relationship. Now, this is, okay. Is this intermediate Python? This is already data visualization. All right. A scatter plots. All right.
I think intro to start.
You said?
I said I think it's intro to start with Python.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that information. So this is, we're having a scatter plot, and they're saying that on the scatter plot, the trends are moving. So most points, right, are moving from lower left to upper right. It just means that in mathematics, okay, when we are making the plots, all right, if you're trying to get your slope and you draw your trend line, and your trend line is moving from the lower left, maybe from 0, and it's going upwards, increasing in x and increasing in y, that's a positive slope. You're going to have a positive slope as we learn from mathematics. But if most points are trending downwards, that is from the upper left to the lower right, you're having a negative slope. So I think in this case, it should be positive. I stand to be corrected. All right, we are correct. So a scatter plot where you're having an increment from the lower left to the upper right. Yeah, I don't have a data set to actually. Time to start to reference data set. Okay, so let's quickly finish with this. You have exam grades for a class, and I want to see how many students fall into each grade range. The most appropriate plot is, let's think. Scatter plot is out. Line plot is out. We have an histogram. We have a bar chart. So which is it? We're talking about categories here, and the categories have ranges. Which would be more appropriate? By the way, what's even the difference between a histogram and a bar chart? There are some key differences. Anybody? Difference between
I think histogram captures the distribution of the data, whereas the bar chart captures the relationship.
Okay. So how I used to understand it is, in histogram there are no spaces between the bars. All right, the bars touch each other, and for bar charts there are spaces between them. That's one difference that I know. And I think another difference is that histogram most times is used to show The data type for an histogram is usually a continuous data type. When I mean continuous, for example, we are checking you are checking the prices of houses, or you're checking the population of Nigeria over the years. That's a histogram plot will give you something very okay, because population is a continuous data type, a numerical continuous data type, because it's actually measuring. We have I don't know if you've come across that. We have different kind of data types. We have numerical data types, right? And numerical data types, we have continuous. I think we have the discrete. Yeah. So discrete is just numbers counting, whereas for continuous, more like measurements, okay, like percentage, prices. So yeah, so histogram actually used to measure or to show relationship of continuous numerical data, whereas bar chart shows for more like comparison between discrete data, categorical data. Maybe, for example, now you want to check the number of students in the department. Let's say they are 50. 50 is not actually measuring, it's more like giving us a number, right? So number of students in the class, or number of students in each classes, a bar chart will be preferable. And bar charts, of course, as I said, they have spaces between them, whereas histogram are closed. Okay. What other thing? But if we actually want to group, if we are talking about order or anything about order, right? We're talking about the histogram here. So if you look at this, you see that 0 to 10 is ordered 10 to 20. These are, as I said, grade ranges. All right. So I think histogram shouldn't be bar charts. Yeah, histogram. All right. In plain Python, x is equal to 12. To check whether x is between 5 and 15, inclusive. So you see, fill in the operator that correctly combines the two comparisons. Yes, if you can remember, if you did computer science in secondary school or in mathematics even, you must have been taught the and or logic. For the or logic, we say that two statements are true except if both are false. Two statements are always true except if both are false. That's the or logic. And the and logic says that two statements are false except both are true. Yeah. I might have to, let me write it. Let me make a comment. The that should be the logic says that two statements are true except if both false. Then the and statement, and logic rather, is that states that it should be states okay that sorry, two statements are false except if both are true. So it means that if x is true or y is true, we're going to have, and I say, sorry, If X is true and Y is true, and I say X or Y, you're going to have it true. That means both of them are true. If X is true and Y is false, we're still going to have it true because at least one is true. If X is true is false and Y is true, I'm still going to have it true because at least one of them is true. But if both are false, you're going to have it false. So that's what the OR logic says, that two statements are true except if both are false. But it doesn't work for the AND logic. If X is true and Y is true, and I use the AND logic, of course, both of them will be true. And that is the only case where both of them can be true. The moment one is false, it will be false. Unlike the OR logic, once I change this, it becomes true. Are we getting it? All right. So for the AND logic, it only works true if both are true. Otherwise, false. All right, false, false. And of course, we have is not. Is not is more like the opposite of. So if I say we use this, I think we use this in Python. No, so I'm trying to look for, yeah, this is what we use to show negation. This is mathematical principles. Okay, so back to the data camp question. If X is greater than 15, what do we X is equal to 12. We check whether X is filling the opposite combined to okay. 12 is greater than and is greater than equal to 15. X and is less than equal to 15. Less than 15. To check whether X is between filling the opposite combined to comparison. Both of them are not true. It's all. Yeah. It's all now and using all would using all would allow values outside the range to pass. If okay, it should be and we'll come back to this. Okay. Okay, you still have an opportunity. Okay. Use and to require both bounds to be true. All right. So okay, so let's do a practice on something more advanced. So just hold, give me some minutes. Let me pick another topic to practice. Something more advanced. Yes, joining data with pandas. Joining data with pandas. So let's see. All right, this is now. You are comparing two ways. Does somebody want to speak? I think somebody raised. Okay, is anybody raising his or her hand? Okay, I think if we just do this today, we are good to go. So we can ask our questions. This was last week's topic, yeah. Merged A, this is a data frame. It's equal to SP500 is another. Okay, no, merged A is a variable. We are trying to create a new data frame by merging two. We are merging SP500 and GDP. So SP500.merge GDP on. We use this on when we are having similar columns. So probably the similar columns on the two data frames is the dates. So option B, imports pandas as PD, import to PD to merge order. By default, merged A uses a join, while merged B uses Okay, so let's think about this. What is even an outer join, an inner join, a right join, a left join? So how did I? There is a way that I usually what's the word now? And I still remember I usually used to have what's it called? More like a short code, a short form of remembering these things. And I still remember. But that's by the way, anyways. So if you look at the first what's it called? First option, you're merging on dates. That is meaning that we are not leaving any we are not leaving any row. We are not leaving any row. Okay. So we are actually making reference to, I think for SP, so for option A, we are making reference to SP 500. So it means that every missing value in GDP would have to be taken off. So I think by default, merged A should be an outer join. Okay. Then option B should be an inner join. Is that how? Oh, sorry, I mixed it. How do I reset? LR. A standard data frame merge uses an inner join by default, right? By default. But when we are using merge ordered, all right, what merge order does is that it usually combines both of the data. For this option A, it's only going to combine data where the date exists in both sets. Let's say, for example, we have a date on GDP that cannot be found on SP500. You are not going to find it in this new data frame because it's an inner join. But merge order is an outer join to say that there are some dates you would find on GDP that you might not find on SP500. What happens is that on GDP, that column, so that row will be empty on SP500. So it keeps both data sets. Option B keeps both data sets, and it fills those empty gaps with NEN. So I think this should be the, by default, any merging is an inner join. All right. Any merging is an inner join. Okay. Any question on that? Okay. You are working with Chicago taxi data set. Taxi owners column include blah 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 blah. So first and foremost, let's note something. Look at vid. Yeah. So these are the two columns that are identical. I want a data frame file type. I want a data frame that has owner company info next to each vehicle's file type, and then you want to compute the most common field type across the merge rows. You also create a modified copy of all blah 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 where you change the value in the first row to value that does not exist. Select all code that are correct. Wow. Merged is equal to taxi owners that merge taxi on V. How we know that we're going to link owners to vehicles. To link owners to vehicles. No. Why I said no is because there could be some There could be some empty, what's it called? There could be some empty rows that will be dropped. Some rows, as empty rows, some rows that do not coincide, right? That might be dropped, and you might not have correct value. If you want overlapping column names from the to be labeled on and view, you can pass. Yeah, this applies. Yep, this applies. Merge is equal to tag owner dot merged on owner ID. How? Is a merge because owner ID uniquely identifies. I think this is also correct too. Yeah, because we want owners. What's supposed to be? It's supposed to be. What's the truth? This one will be wrong. Why? Because we do not have owner ID on this second data frame. I hope you are thinking with me because I'm taking this slowly so that we can think through our answers. This is not correct because owner ID, I mean, is not on both volumes. So we just have to choose one. This is not correct because if I'm changing, it's not correct. It's not correct. So it means that the only two correct statements is the only two correct statements. Just this and this. I'm not sure this is correct. So let's see. Not correct. Series returns. Oh, we had a second. Oh, I didn't take this into consideration. As I said, we need to compute the most common fault types. This value count would help us to get that frequency. We should have included it. So go back to it. You want to merge words and census on the word column, but you want clearer suffixes than the default. Both data frames. Okay, somebody's raising a hand. What is hand? This where's the attendance leave? Okay, sorry, I'll drop it now. Sorry, just give me some time. Okay. All right. You get to see the attendance link in the chat box. So just click on it, fill in data, and submit. Yeah, thank you. All right. So the data attendance link is on the chat box. Yeah. So back to which merge call will produce columns like address word, zip word, address cell, zip cell. Is it this? No, this is a dictionary, no? Is it this? What's the difference between this and this? There's no equal to, can't be this. Is it this? What's the difference between this and this? Should be this. Surfaces must be a two tuple of strings applied to overlapping column names. The reason why it's not this because this is a dictionary. You can see the set column. The reason why it's not this is because there's no equal to sign, so there's no assignment. The reason why it's not this is because we do not have the underscore, which is actually what we are asked to do. Right, so this is the correct option. Okay, let's read this slowly. Let's take this slowly. We are converting this to a data frame, and the dictionary, it's a dictionary of lists. Okay, so we have our key and we have our value, which is a list of numbers. We have another key playlist, which is classic, a list multiplied 3 times. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Combine classical playlists across years, then keep only tracks that are also in popular. All right, so let's look at this critically. This is a semi-join. So what are we supposed to do? Okay, concat this and this. Yeah, classic popular, classic all, what are we trying to do? Yeah. The tracks that are also in popular. What are the tracks that are also in popular? 2 and 3. 2 and 3. All right, so supposed to be here. Is in popular. Are we together? Please read slowly so you'd understand what we're trying to do. 2. So classic all is a combination of both data frame, meaning that 2 and 3, more like 2 and 3, 2 and 3, 2 can be found, 3 can be found, and 4 can be found in popular. Because we have combined these two into classic all. So if you check, we are going to have 1, 2, 3, 4 as the value for this teeth column. Now, why, if we are going to if we are going to create a series, this is a series, or you can call it, okay, that's converted to a list here, but this is a series, all right? And what we are trying to do is we are trying to subset out the tracks that are also in popular. So I think this should be the, is it this? No, in popular. So this is a pandas method is in. Let's check if we are correct. Yes, we are. It performs a semi-join style filter to keep only one rows. Please, if you have not done what's it called, joining in pandas, you might find what you are doing difficult. And if you have not taken that course, it's a very, very important course for data analysis, because you would work with tables a lot. Sometimes 2 tables can be similar, or you can have columns that are similar on both. So you might want to join them and all of that. So import pandas as PD. Toy Story is equal to, so this is a dictionary of lists. So we're going to do what this should do. Inner join dot shape 0 would be, so shape means so shape means that more like the number of rows and the number of columns. All right, so let's see if we left join means that we are merging this and tag lines. So what is similar? Okay, the ID. So if we combine this this is a left join. We need to understand, meaning that, okay, let me see if I can make reference to a slide. I think I should have a slide talking about joining with pandas. Excuse me, please. Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah. Inner join. Okay, so let me share. Come in, hold on, please. Because it's already 8 o'clock. Or started late. My bad. My bad. So I just want to show us, because I think if there's nothing you get from this class, is the difference between the kind of merges. That's talking about the inner join, the outer join, and the likes, blah, 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 blah. All right, so let me just show us a slide from data comp. Yeah. So this is a slide. This is an inner join. This is left data frame, right data. Inner join, what it does, it brings together rows that are similar. It combines them. It means that if I have a row here that is similar to a row here, it combines. Dissimilar rows are dropped out automatically. Right? They are dropped out automatically. A left join means that I'm keeping all of the data on the left data frame. All right. Both the ones that are not common on the right. So it means that the right will suffer. The right data frame will suffer. If there are any rows on the right data frame that are not found on the left data frame, they will be dropped, or they'll just be empty. But if I have rows on the left data frame that I cannot find on the right, they will be kept. Left join means you are favoring the left. Let me use that word. Okay, very good. So this is an example of a left join. If you look at this carefully, all right, on this row makes sense. This row coincides with this. This first row coincides with this second row because they are similar. What made them similar? This A2, B2, C2, 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 C2. So C2, C2, like they are common values for row C. So it's a good place to combine. This combines with nothing because there's no A3, B3 or whatever. This combines with this row. So it means that I'm still going to keep this, but this D that doesn't have a similar value to correspond with this is empty. But can you see something? D4 and D5, they are part of the right table, but they were dropped. Do you know why? Because there's nothing to trace it to on the left. Whereas there's nothing to trace this third row on the right, but we kept it. So left join always favors the left table. Look at this row. I don't know. Can you guys see my screen? Can you guys see my screen? Hello? The left.
Yeah.
Please just give me some extra 15 minutes or 10. I'll leave. I know we have things to do. I joined late. I'm very sorry about that. Just give me extra 10 minutes. I explained this and probably call it an evening. So never forget, I started with an inner join. Inner join, we have something similar to join it on. A left join favors, just put it in your head. The left join favors the left. More like it's selfish because look at, we have a row on the left that doesn't connect any row on the right, but we kept it. and we left this empty. Whereas we have D4, okay, D4 has something to coincide with. We have D5. D5 has nothing to coincide with, and we dropped it. That's not fair anyways. Then we have, of course, you should know that a right join will be the opposite, okay? This is an explanation. Okay, I said a right join would be the, so let's look at this. So you see that there is no row to coincide with row 1 on the right table. We have C1, D1, but there's no A1, B1, or C1 on the left table. But we kept it, and we left the rows for column A and B empty. Whereas C5 and D5, if this were to be a left join, I need somebody to respond. If this were to be a left join, what row would be dropped on the right table? Not to waste your time. C1, D1 will be dropped. All right. And C and D, this place will be empty for what is it called? C1 and D1 will be dropped actually. There will be nothing empty. All right. Then we'll have this as the first row coinciding with this. Then A3, B3 will still remain, even though we do not have anything to connect it with on the right table. It means that there will be 2 columns that will be free. This column will still be kept because it has something to coincide with. Then C5, D5 will be dropped. But look at, for the left join, for the right, that's for the left join, but for the right join, the reverse is the case. All right. Now, an outer join. Outer join means combine everything. This is more like a set where we call that operation union. Union, if I say A union B, means all of the values of elements of A and all of the elements of B, combine them together. But if I say A intersection B is always like, it's almost like inner join, but they're not similar because in inner join, okay, I think they are the same. Yeah. Inner join, they're the same. They are the same actually. Intersection. What is common? All right. So look at this. There was nothing that was dropped. So on this part, we have some empty rows, and also on this part, we have some empty rows. Okay. So imagine the table to itself. Imagine the table to itself. There's a syntax to that. Okay. And sometimes I'm looking for a self-join. Sorry. Self-join. So this will be self-join. Imagine an index to itself here. Imagine a table to itself. Is what you will call a self-join. Okay, so in a self-join, you are merging a table to itself. All right, so just look at this left table and this right table. All right, so you notice something that we are having similar rows on the right table. We are still going to merge it, only that we are going to have a renaming of the columns. So when you are merging a table to itself, what remains are the columns, are the rows that are similar. So only these 2 rows, right, would remain because we have similar values on the left and on the right. All right, so when we are merging a table to itself, we use this SQL.merge. Of course, the second column we are merging will be the first thing. Left on SQL, meaning that you are merging the left table on a particular column, and you're merging the right table on a particular column. And of course, you'll have to separate them because both because they are the same table, so we are going to have the same name, ID title SQL, ID title SQL. To separate them, ID X title X SQL X for the left table, IDY, title Y, sequel Y for the right table. And you have, so let's quickly answer this. So, inner join the shape will be because inner join draws movies without a matching tagline. So what will be dropped here? I think 2 will be dropped here, right? But no, not 2, not 2, not 2. This will be merged to this. Then but I'm looking at inner join, right? Not left join, sorry. Yeah, inner join, yeah. So this will be left out. Toy Story 2 will be left out.
Could you please shift the interface so that we can see everything, Mr. John?
You can't see everything.
Yeah.
Oh,
Your code so that we
this way back.
Okay, it's fine now. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So we're looking at this. All right. Left join. This first data frame is different from this second. This second data frame, what it's doing is merging inner, meaning that it's not selfish. We're not going to keep any rows on the left. We're going to merge rows that are identical. So 1 to 1, it means they are 1 to 1. So it means to infinity and beyond, right? Toy Story and 1 will be kept. 2, there's no 2, so 2, Toy Story 2 dropped out. All right, and 3 will be dropped out. So I think we're going to have 1. One will be true, only just one ID match, but 1 and 3 matched. Shape. Okay, the shape. Oh, sorry, the shape. Shape means how many the shape will be? To be 2, because we're only having, let's reset, we're only having 1 and 3. 1 and 3 identical. So we got that. Coming to this, we said this was not correct. We said this was not correct. We said this was correct. This was correct, and this was correct. All right. So I think we'll call it an evening. Any question? Can you give any question? Oh, sorry about that, Floris. Link. Let me repost the attendance link. Yeah, that's it. So before you leave, just click on the attendance link on the chat box. Click on the attendance link on the chat box. While we call it an evening. Any question, please? So I think we've had some understanding on how to join on pandas, the ideology behind an inner join, an outer join, a left join, a right join, a self join. All right. So please don't forget to, and we are not making use of the Discord channel. You can, if you have confusions, you can still call my attention to them. By the way, I don't know if those guys that have issues with their track, I don't know if it has been rectified. Okay, the silence means that it has rectified. So I think I'll see you guys next week. All right, so good night.
The charge them, they were at 200. So you say you charge 200, they will collect 200 and make 200. Now I say to you, you have to call anything. One will go Judy.